Well, our group went to IOV, Cancer Center near São Paulo, where Dr. Fred has been leading the transformation for the last 10 years, and it's been a tremendous example and tremendous time for learning. We had a fruitful discussion afterwards and reflection on what we have seen, and among us there is a common understanding this is something that can be that should be available, and our LGN, I think, should make it available to all the world. First of all, speaking about purpose, coming back to LTF and speaking about the purpose, the roof, we have to notice that they have a clear mission of being a global, to be global against cancer, right? Global player against cancer. And all that they are doing in the clinic is actually aligned with this vision and mission. That's clear. They have a robust Hashin process right now with 4 dimensions. And first is user experience, and actually everything that we saw was around the patient. So this is we could call it a patient-centric management system. Second is positioning themselves among other clinics, seeing the market position. Business as usual, of course, it should be run. And what's interesting, the 4th dimension was new businesses. And this brings us to the type 4 problems of Arts-Mali model. Actually, if we look at what they have done during these 10 years, they started from dealing with problems number 1 and gradually coming to the state where they attack all 4 types of problems, including the 4th, the development. So it was obvious to us that in this particular case, the processes were changed through development of people. Workshops, A3 formats, casing boards, that's all in place, and the development people led actually to the change in the process, these 2 pillars of LTF. I need to say that the major change in the processes actually took place in 2014, 5 years ago, when it was a top-down decision by the CEO, Dr. Fred, to go away from functional management, from pillars, from silos, to cross-functional flow. And they have created the flow managers for every division, his own manager, who would deal with all the functional difficulties. And that led actually to a culture change in the clinic. And that's when the patient-centric scheme, I would say, could be available and could work actually. Basic thinking, as we could go underneath of the house, is also we could say that it's around people, I would say. I could just give a citation of Dr. Fred that we chose Lean in order for everyone to be able to be involved in the transformation process. It's easy enough to understand. A3 and continuous improvement are actually the basis for this management system. We've seen these Kiyabashi boards that shows the system of every standard that has been developed in the clinic is actually reviewed at least once a year. And if it's followed, then it goes on. And if it's not followed, then they learn, they open A3 and see whether it should be or could be improved. Improved again, they compare it with the user experience. That's something that we can say about the clinics. And coming back to the purpose, it's they are going right now with their leader, Dr. Fred, far beyond their clinic. Dr. Fred is in charge of another emergency clinic in the city right now, and also working with the government of the city to spread the knowledge gained inside the IOV to the health system of the city. And in our common opinion, this is probably the holistic, full holistic lean health management system that's in place. It's just naturally naturally developing inside with all the people, 200 people that's in the clinic. Great example, and I think we think that LGN's obligation is to make it as much available, the experience, the results and the processes from IOE to the public as much as possible. And one thing is the book of Dr. Fred should be probably translated to many languages.
So our group visited CINT. It's a software company which was founded back in 1995. It started off as a small startup. It didn't go with startup back then. Then it grew quite fast in the time. So what happened is we were talking to the manager of the company, to the owner, and he was saying that they did a couple of transformations, major transformations throughout the journey. One of those transformations happened in 2010, and this was the lean transformation. It was pretty amazing to see how this guy transformed. Caesar, who is the owner, he really transformed, and he was leading by example. So this company is great because the leader actually believes strongly in lean and in what the values behind lean are. So all the people were kind of what's the word, like inflicted with lean, so they live lean. Yeah, if you go to the company, you see visual management everywhere, so every single team has mapped whatever they're doing, what are their values, what is their purpose, what are the continuous improvement tools that they're using, what are the projects that they're running, what are the lessons learned from the projects, what is the progress, what are the mistakes. Everything was absolutely visible. The whole journey of the company you could see when you enter it. So this was remarkable, and they liked it so much that they started helping other companies transform into lean businesses or lean enterprise at some point, which is amazing. It's a great example. Now, one other thing that we saw there was they have their own academy. In this academy, they offer all types of courses, and Caesar himself would lead a couple of the courses related to the lean transformation, and he's there among the people. So he's talking to the people. He's leading by example, and I could see the people feeling really comfortable in this, I would say, very modern IT environment, which we can, strongly differentiate from the manufacturing today still. So some other things that we saw were in the procurement and in legal. So let's talk procurement. We're talking back office activities here. We're talking shared services, and they cannot touch their product. They are not actually moving something, but they were, for what was it? The lady that was leading the team, she has been around for 10 years, and she started the journey 2 years ago. So for 8 years, she was doing the same things without really, understanding what is the value in this, who is my customer, do I make mistakes, how many mistakes I make. So there was no question, no problem solving technology behind this process. And 2 years ago she started the journey, and you could see a huge progress in 2 years. You could see a team of a couple of young ladies who were working in there for, they said, average of 3 years, and all of them were transformed. So again, fully visual, again, everything being tracked, the right KPIs, the progress, everything. You don't need to ask questions. You can go and you can understand what's happening in procurement there. And in legal, people will say, wow, legal is not, it's not possible to do lean in legal, right? The legal guys are, and again, they were working with their internal customers. They visualized the review process of the contract, for example. So is it pending within the company somewhere? Let's say accounting, finance needs to give an approval review, or is it pending with a customer? Is it a problem there somehow? So they were tracking this, and they had some internal service level agreements for when do I need to check, when do I need to follow up. So, and this was visible. You could see every person, what she or he does in the team, what is the progress, how many contracts we have in the pipeline, what's pending. They were also kind of using digital product with the visual dashboard. And this was a tool, like it's famous tool for IT. And with this tool, they were again monitoring part of the activities, but they were translating whatever is important for them into their dashboard on the wall, which is again really good way to work. And this in legal, you know, really not expected to see that, and I was really impressed. It was a small team, great results. Again, everyone was very happy inside to do with this dashboard. It was not that they feel uncomfortable because they're lawyers and they shouldn't be doing this. So yeah, CI&T, great company, great lean application, example for every enterprise, I would say.
Our group went to Mary Kay yesterday and we visited their distribution center. Mary Kay is a cosmetic producer and distribution company, and they sell via consultants only. These consultants send the orders to the warehouse, and they prepare the order and send within 2 days. Actually, what we've learned that they have a clear purpose. They want to enrich women's life, which is in their life in every day. So they address two problems to do that. First is how to solve the lead time, send all the products in 2 days maximum, as well as how to react to the variability of the orders. It means whatever is coming in, they have to fulfill in two days. Also, the quality is very important for them. They check every product and have solutions that prevent any poor products in the package. So they really consider all the aspects of the customer satisfaction. Also, they have an initiative in the customer service, which means that whatever a problem is coming from a customer or a consultant, they are on to right first time resolution. So that's a big shift for them from just closing a case to really provide value on the problem solving. What we've seen is their lean journey, how they created the continuous flow of value with the standard work, and how they ease the operators' work by using the visual aids as well as the end-on system. Just an example, if they pull the end-on cord, the shift leader is there in about 1.5 minutes, and that's amazing. And they used it on the job. What they also do is the pull of the materials, so they link themselves to the suppliers. So it seems that a good value stream is working on. They put very much efforts on the people's development. First is the basic capability, how to do the job. They use the skill matrix every day and really enforce the learning for the workers, as well as they engage them in the problem solving and learning by creating small Kaizen teams. And they get a problem, they have this small Kaizen team, and they work through the problem solving process and implement the actions and see what's going on. What also is done by them is the 1-point lesson, which is really visible all around the company, all around the factory, just giving information all the time to people what to do and how to do if a new problem is coming up. They built up a management system as well, which is around the visual management and the daily meetings. So you visualize all the performances of the processes and the process outcomes, and they highlight the problems, highlight the gaps, and initiate actions by type 1 problem solving, just doing quick actions, as well as doing A3s or having Kaizens with the team. Their CEO was very much engaged. It's how they produce this high quality service to the consultants and clients, but in the end he's just forcing the continuous learning of lean and going forward in a fast speed, because they say our purpose is just to be responsive as much as we can, so they have to be responsive on the problems as well. They believe in that developing people will give the right people in the right position, which also helps them how to spread the lean thinking around the company. I think what's really important for them is how they address this variation in the customer demand, they have a simulation at the every day's shift end, which means they see what's in the pipeline. They simulate different setups for the line, and they find out what's the best for the next day's production and adjust. So that's how the PDCA is working on the customer demand and leveling, not just on the problem solving.